So here is my mini talk. So I am taking this Family Constellations course, and yesterday they were talking about how these facilitators facilitate very differently than European facilitators. European facilitators keep it very tight because they're still on the land on which they had a lot of trauma. So it's much more clinical, much more contained and controlled, which is fine. Okay. So Emily and Dan do their constellations very big and very messy. And how they explained it, I wanted to share with you. Is one, it's always with the intention that the highest good is going to come forward. And what they're trying to do is just bring all the things that are at play present so that we can see it and then let the unfolding happen naturally, right? There's a level of trust in the field, so this energetic field that we're all in. And there's a level of trust on the person that they're able to handle it. So when they were doing this, they were like high judgments from the clinical staff there. This is not responsible and all this other stuff, right? So they were able to hold firm on their frame, which again, they're not saying this is the only way. They're just saying this is their way. Okay. And by the end of the day that they were in charge of, people came around. They could see the value of it. A lot of the European facilitators are like, we love working with Americans because they're very generous with what they do. They're like all over the place. So it's interesting. The constellation that I landed in, and there is a trigger warning of Holocaust, okay, was this woman had asked to figure out how to get embodied, her soul, set her soul free, basically, so she could live in her life. And she's in her 80s. And the trauma that kept her frozen was connected to the Holocaust. So she picked someone in the group, and lo and behold, his family was connected to the Holocaust unconsciously, or not unconsciously. When we pick people, we have this intuitive sense. We just don't know it, right? So when we discovered that he had a connection to the Holocaust because the client was connected to the Nazis, okay, the facilitator made the brilliant intuition of bringing in someone to represent the representative. Okay. So if she was the client and she picked him as the father where this trauma started, right? I was the one picked to be the representative of that person. Okay. So if this is confusing, it's okay. Basically, what came forward in the unfolding of it was without. And I'm not saying that it was okay. All right. I'm just looking at the bigger picture. That's what I'm holding with what Rose guided us through was how vast this universe is. And we're like but a tiny itty bitty speck. Okay. But our wounded children and our teenager thinks that we can control the entire world. Okay. Without the impact of the Holocaust, this person would not exist because his father's first wife died, which made space for the second wife, which then created his life. So, zooming out, what am I trying to explain? Not very eloquently or clearly. It might look like an atrocity because it is. And life comes forward with it too, right? So, if we can zoom out and trust that whatever's happening is happening for a reason, not like it's pre-filled and who gets to do what and who's worthy and not that, but just that life is unfolding because it's emergent, it's dynamic, it's integrating all the other things, right? Long story short, the goal is not perfection. The goal is not control. The goal is to live, okay? And so this container, this space is for us to practice living messy, trusting that I'm going to hold myself accountable when I do something that hurts or crosses someone's boundary or steps on their toes, and they're going to be able to hold themselves in their same size circle. Okay? So this is a lot of the work that we're doing is how do we compassionately not replicate the oppression and the oppressed, this victim and perpetrator dynamic? Because if we're in that victim perpetrator dynamic, we get stuck there. We get stuck in our wounded child, which is the victim, and we get stuck in our teenager, which is the perpetrator. Okay? The goal is to be in same size, which is human, which means we're all going to do it differently because you might just be a speck, but you're the most magnificent speck that doesn't exist if you weren't here, right? So just take that in. Everyone take a sip.